The stone gate exploded. Before the dust could even settle, Lin Yuan had already stepped out. 2 years. A full 2 years in secluded cultivation. His injuries had healed, and his realm had broken through. Quasi-Emperor. He took a deep breath, and the spiritual energy of heaven and earth surged into him. Comfortable, just as he was about to stretch his limbs, a burst of delicate laughter drifted over from the distance. Lin Yuan frowned slightly. His divine sense swept across. On the back mountain lawn, several junior sisters were gathered around a young man. The young man, with his handsome features and charming smile, was practicing his sword. His swordplay was terrible, practically unwatchable. But he practiced it very earnestly, so earnestly that he accidentally slipped, falling straight into the eldest senior sister's arms. Oh dear! He tumbled in. The eldest senior sister caught him, her face filled with concern. Junior brother, did you hurt yourself? The young man rubbed his head, his eyes sparkling. Doesn't hurt. With senior sister here, it doesn't hurt a bit. The eldest senior sister smiled. Such a good boy. Beside them, the second senior sister offered a spiritual fruit. Junior brother, eat this. It'll help you regain your strength. The young man took a bite, and beamed like a flower. Thank you, senior sister. You're so good to me. The third senior sister clapped beside him. Junior brother is amazing. Much better than that blockhead who cultivates in seclusion all day. Blockhead? Was that about him? He gave a light cough. The sound wasn't loud, but the entire scene instantly fell silent. Everyone turned around simultaneously. The moment they saw Lin Yuan, the eldest senior sister's hand trembled, nearly flinging the young man in her arms away. The spiritual fruit in the second senior sister's hand fell. The third senior sister's mouth hung open, forgotten to close. The young man, who had just been smiling so brightly, found the smile on his face frozen solid, because he saw that these senior sisters' gazes had changed. 1 moment ago, it was indulgence, gentleness, big sister cares for you. The next moment, awe, adoration, and even a touch of guilt, like children caught red-handed doing something naughty. The young man's heart sank. Who is this person? He forced a smile, stepped forward, and cupped his hands in greeting. May I ask who this senior brother is? I've only just joined the sect, so if I've been rude in any way, please forgive me. His demeanor was extremely humble. His words are also very well chosen. Lin Yuan gave him a look. Just one look. No expression, no pressure released. But the young man felt as if he was being targeted by an ancient, ferocious beast. His back was instantly drenched in sweat. His legs felt a bit weak. Lin Yuan withdrew his gaze and spoke indifferently. Then he turned and walked away. Just one word. And he left. The young man stood rooted to the spot, stunned for several seconds. By the time he came to his senses, Lin Yuan had already walked far away. He turned back to look at the senior sisters. The senior sisters were still gazing in the direction Lin Yuan had departed, their eyes filled with complex emotions. A sudden surge of anger welled up in the young man's heart. Why him? He'd been in the sect for half a year, flattering these senior sisters every day, and they would smile at him like blooming flowers. That man just uttered a single and they reacted like that? He gritted his teeth. Senior sister, who was that senior brother? Such an air of arrogance about him. The eldest senior sister snapped out of her daze and looked at him. Her gaze was a little strange, but she said nothing more, merely smiling. Oh, him. Just someone who's been in seclusion. Come on, let's continue practicing swordplay. Continue practicing swordplay? The young man grew even more disgruntled, but he maintained a smile on his face. All right. While practicing his sword, he secretly observed. He found the senior sisters were clearly distracted. Their gazes always drifted in the same direction, the direction that man had left. The young man's grip on his sword tightened. That night, he found an old disciple sweeping the grounds in the sect and handed him a flask of wine. Senior brother, can I ask you something? The old disciple took the wine, narrowed his eyes. Speak. Who was that person who emerged from seclusion today? The old disciple's expression changed. He looked left and right, confirmed no one was around, and lowered his voice. Him? Don't mention him. The young man was taken aback. Why? The old disciple's voice grew even lower. That's a taboo. The young man's heart quickened. Taboo? What heinous thing did he do? The old disciple glanced at him, didn't explain, just shook his head. Just remember, don't provoke him. Stay far away from him. He said that and then left. The young man stood rooted, his eyes growing brighter and brighter. Taboo? Heinous? He was excited. The next day, he went to find an elder. The elder was refining pills. Hearing him ask about Lin Yuan, his hand trembled, nearly causing the furnace to explode. The elder's mouth twitched. He's a devil. After saying that, he refused to speak further. The young man was so excited he couldn't sleep all night. Taboo. Devil. There must be something going on. He wanted to ruin this person's reputation, to let his master see who was truly the most favored disciple of the Azure Jade sect. What he didn't know was the old disciple from last night was currently sweeping fallen leaves on the back mountain, muttering, "Another one courting death." And that elder was sighing at his pill furnace. A devil? Yes, he's a devil. During our sparring match, he pinned me to the ground and wiped the floor with me, my 3,000-year-old face. Can I even talk about this? It'd be even more embarrassing if I did. Under the same moon, Lin Yuan stood before his window, his divine sense encompassing the entire sect. Everything was within his view. A slight arc formed at the corner of his mouth. Interesting. Then I'll play along with you. Outside the window, the moonlight was bright. The Azure Jade sect was about to get lively. The junior disciple had insomnia. All night, he tossed and turned, his mind filled with that man. Just one word. What makes him so special? He got up and practiced expressions in front of the mirror. Sweet, wronged, innocent, guileless. He practiced for half an hour. Dawn broke. He took a deep breath and went out. Today's goal, to find out exactly who this Lin Yuan was. In the refectory, the senior sisters were gathered around, eating. The junior disciples sidled over, smiling sweetly. Senior sisters, may I sit here? The head senior sister looked up and smiled. Sit. The junior disciple sat down, eating and casually asking, Senior sister, when did senior brother Lin Yuan, the one from yesterday, join the sect? The bustling refectory suddenly fell silent for a moment. The head senior sister's chopsticks paused. The second senior sister lowered her head to drink her porridge. The third senior sister pretended not to hear. The junior disciple's heart stirred. Something's up. The head senior sister put down her chopsticks and smiled. Oh, him? He joined 300 years ago. He's the senior brother to all of us. 300 years. The youngest junior brother was stunned. He'd only joined the sect half a year ago, so he truly was the youngest junior brother. But he wouldn't give up and continue to ask, so what does senior brother Lin usually do? I want to learn from him too. The second senior sister let out a snort, nearly spitting out her porridge. The third senior sister pinched her. The eldest senior sister's expression was peculiar. He usually just cultivates, goes into seclusion, cultivates, goes into seclusion. The youngest junior brother asked, then why does he stay in seclusion for so long? The eldest senior sister replied, he was injured 2 years ago. The youngest junior brother's eyes lit up. Injured? Who hurt him? The eldest senior sister glanced at him, her gaze turning strange again. But she didn't answer, simply stood up. I'm full. Enjoy your meal. And left. The second senior sister and third senior sister also stood up and followed her out. The youngest junior brother sat there alone, the thought in his mind growing stronger. Something's wrong. Absolutely something wrong. After finishing his meal, he strolled to the back mountain. The old disciple sweeping the ground was still sweeping. The youngest junior brother handed him another flask of wine. The old disciple took it without a word. The youngest junior brother leaned in. Senior brother, tell me more about that Lin Yuan. The old disciple looked at him. Didn't I tell you not to mention him? The youngest junior brother asked. Why can't I mention him? What exactly did he do? The old disciple sighed, lowering his voice. You really want to know? The youngest junior brother nodded frantically. The old disciple said, he's too strong. The youngest junior brother was taken aback. Strong? What's wrong with being strong? The old disciple replied, so strong that no disciple dares to speak to him. So strong that the elders' faces darken whenever he's mentioned. So strong that no one in the entire sect is willing to talk about him. The youngest junior brother was a little bewildered. Isn't that a good thing? The old disciple gave him a look, a hint of sympathy in his eyes. Go tell the elders that's a good thing, then, he said and left. The youngest junior brother stood rooted, thinking for a long time. Suddenly, he slapped his thigh. He understood. This Lin Yuan must have been relying on his strength to bully fellow disciples, suppress elders, and generally cause widespread resentment. That's why everyone was afraid to mention him. That's why he became a taboo. The youngest junior brother was excited. If Master knew that Lin Yuan was so unpopular in the sect, he turned and ran, directly rushing towards Master's sleeping quarters. Asterisk knock, knock, knock. Asterisk come in. The youngest junior brother pushed the door open, then dropped to his knees with a thud. The beautiful Master was sitting on the couch drinking tea. Seeing him like this, she raised an eyebrow. What's wrong? The youngest junior brother's eyes reddened. Master, disciple has something that I don't know whether I should say or not. Master put down her teacup. Speak. The youngest junior brother said, disciple saw senior brother Lin Yuan yesterday and felt afraid, unable to sleep all night. Master asked, afraid? Afraid of what? Tears streamed down the youngest junior brother's face. Senior brother Lin Yuan's gaze. It was so terrifying, as if he wanted to devour disciple. Did disciple do something wrong to anger him? He wept, his face a picture of distress. He was so aggrieved it was unbearable. Anyone else seeing him would surely feel pity. Master looked at him, silent for 3 seconds. Then she picked up her teacup and took a sip. I see. Just 2 words. The youngest junior brother was stunned. She saw. Just like that? He continued to cry. Master, disciple is not trying to sow discord. I'm just afraid. Senior brother Lin Yuan seems to have a lot of prestige in the sect, and disciple dare not offend him. So I can only come to Master for justice. Master put down her teacup and looked at him. Her gaze was a little strange, but the youngest junior brother didn't understand it. The Master smiled. You did well. Go back and rest. The junior disciple blinked. Then senior brother Lin Yuan. The Master, I will handle it. Go. The junior disciple was ecstatic. Handle. The Master said he would handle it. He scrambled up, bowed. Many thanks, Master. This disciple takes his leave. He turned and ran off. The door closed. The Master picked up his teacup and spoke towards the window. Did you hear? Outside the window, a figure stood with hands clasped behind his back. Lin Yuan's voice came. The Master, this child is quite interesting. Lin Yuan, he is quite interesting. In less than a day, he's asked everyone in the sect. The Master smiled. What do you plan to do? Lin Yuan also smiled. If he wants to play, I'll play along. The Master, don't break him, he's still useful to me. Lin Yuan, don't worry. Outside the window, the moonlight was bright. The junior disciple lay in bed, tossing and turning with excitement. What he didn't know was, Lin Yuan had heard tonight's conversation from beginning to end. The old sweeping disciple was currently drinking in his room, muttering, fool. The alchemy elder was sneering at his elixir furnace. Devil? Heh, just you wait. And his master was looking at the moon outside the window, a smile playing on his lips. The entire sect, only he alone was unaware. The fun had only just begun. Sect morning lecture. All disciples stood neatly on the training grounds. Today was the monthly major lecture. The master personally gave a sermon, but everyone's gaze drifted in the same direction. At the back of the crowd, Lin Yuan stood there. He rarely attended morning lectures. Before, it was due to secluded cultivation. Now he was too lazy to come. He came today because the master had transmitted a message to him. Come, watch the show. Lin Yuan came. He stood at the very back, holding his sword, eyes closed. The junior disciple stood at the very front and saw him a glance. His heart stirred. The opportunity had come. The master finished a segment and was about to speak when the junior disciple suddenly raised his hand. Master, this disciple has a request. The master raised an eyebrow. Speak. The junior disciple turned, looked at the back of the crowd, smiling prettily. Senior brother Lin Yuan has been in secluded cultivation for 2 years. Surely he has comprehended many unique arts? Could he perhaps give this junior disciple a few pointers? The entire place went quiet. Everyone followed his gaze, looking at Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan didn't move, didn't open his eyes. The junior disciple waited 2 seconds, his smile growing a little stiff. He raised his voice. Senior brother Lin Yuan? This junior disciple sincerely seeks guidance. Senior brother wouldn't refuse, would he? Lin Yuan opened his eyes. He glanced at him. It was still that kind of gaze. A chill ran down the junior disciple's spine, but he gritted his teeth and endured it. With so many people watching, what could he do? Lin Yuan spoke. Are you sure? The junior disciple puffed out his chest. Sure. Lin Yuan walked out. The crowd automatically parted, making a path. He walked up to the junior disciple and stopped. The junior disciple looked up at him, suddenly feeling a little regretful. Why is this person so tall? Lin Yuan, draw your sword. The junior disciple was stunned. What? Lin Yuan, didn't you ask for guidance? Draw your sword. The junior disciple gritted his teeth and drew his sword. A top-grade spirit artifact, its blade gleamed chillingly. He adopted an opening stance, which looked quite convincing. Then he thrust his sword. The sword tip went straight for Lin Yuan's chest. Still an inch away, it stopped. Not because he wanted it to. It couldn't move. Lin Yuan's 2 fingers had clamped onto his sword. A light squeeze, as if clamping a fallen leaf. The junior disciple's face turned beet red as he pulled back with all his might. It wouldn't budge. Lin Yuan looked at him and spoke indifferently. Your lower body is unstable. He flicked his wrist. Your wrist is weak. He flicked it again. There's no sword intent. He flicked it one more time. Snap. The sword broke. It snapped into 3 pieces and fell to the ground. The entire place fell silent. The junior disciple stared at the sword hilt in his hand, utterly bewildered. His sword. The sword bestowed by his master. A top-grade spirit artifact. Broken. Lin Yuan withdrew his hand and looked at him. Train for 10 years, then come back to me. Having said that, he turned and left. The junior disciple came to his senses and shouted, You! How dare you destroy my sword? Lin Yuan didn't look back. The junior disciple took 2 steps after him. That was given to me by master. Lin Yuan didn't stop. His voice floated back. Oh, that sword material was too poor. I'll compensate you with 10. The entire crowd was in an uproar. 10 top-grade spirit artifacts? A disciple whispered, Senior disciple brother is too rich. Another disciple whispered even more softly. Last time he casually refined a furnace of pills, the elders were practically begging him for them. The junior disciple stood rooted to the spot, his face alternating between red and white. He turned to look at his master. His master was holding a teacup, watching with great interest. Meeting his gaze, he smiled. What is it? The junior disciple's eyes reddened. Master, his master interrupted him. Didn't he say he'd compensate you with 10? You've made a profit. The junior disciple was stunned. Profited? His sword was destroyed, and that's called profiting? The senior disciple's sister next to him whispered, Junior disciple brother, 10 top-grade spirit artifacts. Can you really get 10 by playing the victim? Second senior disciple sister nodded. Exactly, why don't you let him destroy it a few more times? The junior disciple almost spat blood. Morning lessons concluded. The crowd left in 2s and 3s. The junior disciple stood alone, staring at the broken sword on the ground. His teeth ground together audibly. That look, that humph, that train for 10 years, then come back to me. He wouldn't forget it. In the distance, on Sword Cliff, Lin Yuan stood there, looking at the sea of clouds. Footsteps sounded from behind him. His master's voice, having fun? Lin Yuan didn't turn around. It's fine. The master walked up to him and stood shoulder to shoulder. He's practically fuming to death. Lin Yuan, I know. The master. What are you planning to do next? Lin Yuan thought for a moment. Wait for him to make his next move. The master smiled. You're just going to wait? Lin Yuan turned his head to look at her. Otherwise? Slap him dead. The master raised an eyebrow. Can't bear to? Lin Yuan also raised an eyebrow. Aren't you still useful? The master paused, then laughed. The two stood side by side, the wind rustling their robes. In the distance, on the training ground, the junior disciple brother picked up his broken sword and walked back. He passed the old disciple brother who was sweeping the floor. The old disciple brother glanced at him, shook his head, and continued sweeping. The junior disciple brother suddenly stopped. Senior disciple brother, can you really not tell me who he is? The old disciple brother sighed. Haven't I told you already? The junior disciple brother. Taboo? Just those 2 words. The old disciple brother. Not enough. The junior disciple brother. I don't believe it. No matter how strong someone is, it's impossible for the entire sect to not dare mention him. The old disciple brother looked at him with a complicated expression. After a long pause, he spoke. Then do you know why the elder's faces darken every time he's mentioned? The junior disciple brother shook his head. The old disciple brother. Because all the elders have been beaten by him. The junior disciple brother was stunned. The old disciple brother continued. During sparring matches, one-on-one, pinned to the ground and ground into the dirt. After beating them, he'd even helped them point out their problems. The elders wanted to get angry, but he meant well. They wanted to thank him, but they couldn't save face, so they can only avoid mentioning him. It's humiliating to bring him up. The junior disciple brother's mouth hung wide open. The old disciple brother patted his shoulder. So don't provoke him. It's really for your own good. He finished speaking and left. The junior disciple brother stood rooted to the spot, feeling a little cold as the wind blew past. But he gritted his teeth. Don't provoke him? He already had. He took a deep breath and continued walking back. He still had a trump card. His master. His master was on his side. Last night, his master said she would handle it. Yes, there was still his master. What he didn't know was, at this moment, on Sword Cliff, the master was standing shoulder to shoulder with Lin Yuan, chatting and laughing. The pill refining room. The junior disciple brother stood at the doorway, taking a deep breath. He had been inquiring for 3 days. Finally, he got a piece of news. Every few days, Lin Yuan would come to the pill refining room to ask the elder for medicinal ingredients. Today was the day. He straightened his clothes, pushed open the door, and went in. The pill refining elder was looking at a pill furnace without turning his head. Who is it? The junior disciple brother smiled obediently. Elder, it's me. I wanted to come and watch you refine pills and learn a few things. The pill refining elder turned around, saw it was him, and his mouth twitched. It's this kid again. But he didn't say anything, just pointed to a corner. Sit there and watch. Don't make a sound. The junior disciple brother obediently sat down, but his eyes kept darting towards the door. An hour passed. Lin Yuan didn't come. The junior disciple brother couldn't sit still. He stood up and leaned over. Elder, what kind of pill are you refining? The alchemist elder, a 5th grade origin gathering pill. The junior disciple brother, wow, 5th grade. Elder, you're amazing. The alchemist elder ignored him. The junior disciple brother moved a little closer. Elder, can I help you with anything? Like tending the fire or something? The alchemist elder frowned. You? The junior disciple brother patted his chest. I've learned. Back in my hometown, I often helped my father tend the fire. The alchemist elder glanced at him. The look was a little strange, but the junior disciple brother didn't understand it. The alchemist elder thought for a moment. All right, you watch the heat. I'll go get an ingredient. The junior disciple brother was ecstatic. Okay. The elder left. The junior disciple brother stood before the alchemy furnace, staring at the flickering flames. His heart pounded. He stretched out his hand and secretly channeled a wisp of spiritual energy into the fire. The flames suddenly surged. The alchemy furnace hummed. He added another wisp. The alchemy furnace trembled even more violently. One more wisp, boom. The alchemy furnace exploded. Black smoke filled the room. Medicinal ingredients were scattered all over the floor. The alchemist elder rushed in, his blood pressure soaring as he looked at the mess on the floor. "You did this." The junior disciple brother's eyes reddened, and tears began to fall, patter, patter. "Elder, it wasn't me. It was senior disciple brother Lin Yuan." The alchemist elder froze. "What?" The junior disciple brother was sobbing, gasping for breath. "Just now, senior disciple brother Lin Yuan came in to get something, and his walking created a gust of wind that made the heat go out of control. I wanted to fix it, but it was too late." He cried, covering his face. His shoulders shook with sobs. He looked utterly pathetic. The alchemist elder was silent for 3 seconds. He looked at the junior disciple brother. The junior disciple brother peeked at him through his fingers. The alchemist elder's mouth twitched. He remembered 3 years ago. Lin Yuan had also stood in this alchemy room, watching him refine a batch of 7th-grade pills. He watched for half an hour. Then he spoke. "Elder, there's a problem with your pill formula." The alchemist elder was furious then. "What do you, a junior, know?" Lin Yuan didn't speak. He reached out and took his medicinal ingredients. He restarted the furnace. Half an hour later, a batch of 7th-grade pills was successfully refined. Their quality was 30% better than what he had refined. Lin Yuan handed him the pills. The order of heat control is wrong, and the ingredient proportions could be adjusted. He said that and left. The alchemist elder held the pills, stunned for an entire day. He had remembered that humiliation for 3 years. Now, this junior disciple brother says that Lin Yuan is jealous of him? The alchemist elder took a deep breath. Then another deep breath. Then he spoke. "Yes, it's his fault." The junior disciple brother was ecstatic inwardly. His face, however, was etched with even deeper grievance. "Elder, then what about this batch of pills?" The alchemy elder looked at the scattered debris on the floor, his heart bleeding with pain. "Grade 5 pills. A single batch yielded over 10 pills. How much were they worth?" But he still waved his hand. "I'll just refine them again. You go back." The junior disciple. "But..." The alchemy elder. "It's fine. Go." The junior disciple wiped away his tears and walked out. Reaching the doorway, he looked back. "Elder, you're truly a good person." Then he ran off. The alchemy elder stood alone in the alchemy room, facing the wreckage on the floor. After a long while, he murmured to himself, "The value of this batch of pills isn't even a fraction of what that kid Lin Yuan refines in one batch." He shook his head and began to clean up. "Never mind. I'll just go along with the act." Outside the door, the junior disciple had already run far away. He found an empty corner, covered his mouth, and burst out laughing. Success. Lin Yuan takes the blame. He blew up the furnace, and Lin Yuan takes the blame. He shook all over with laughter. After he had his fill of laughter, he stood up and brushed off his clothes. Next, he would go find Master and put on another pitiful act. Let Master know that Lin Yuan caused trouble in the alchemy room, leading to the furnace exploding. The more he thought about it, the better he felt. His steps even became lighter. What he didn't know was, at this very moment, inside the alchemy room, after the alchemy elder finished cleaning up the fragments, he raised his head and spoke towards the window. "Heard enough?" Outside the window, Lin Yuan stood with his hands clasped behind his back. The alchemy elder. "You knew he was coming today?" Lin Yuan. The alchemy elder. "Then why didn't you come in?" Lin Yuan. "Why come in?" "To help you catch him red-handed." The alchemy elder was speechless. Lin Yuan. "Let him act. The more realistic his performance, the easier will be to close the net later." The alchemy elder sighed. "My batch of pills." Lin Yuan raised his hand and tossed over a jade bottle. The alchemy elder caught it, opened it, and looked inside. 10 grade 7 pills. His eyes widened. "This." Lin Yuan. "Your compensation." Having spoken, his figure vanished. The alchemy elder, holding the jade bottle, was stunned for a long time. Then he smiled. "This kid." He put away the jade bottle and continued to clean up the alchemy room. A little tune escaped his lips. Go on with your act, then. In any case, the one who cries in the end certainly won't be me. At the same time, the junior disciple was already kneeling before Master. His eyes were watery. Master, senior brother Lin Yuan caused trouble in the alchemy room today and blew up the furnace. The elder was furious, but didn't dare to say anything to him. Master held his teacup and watched him. The junior disciple continued to weep. Master, he's truly gone too far. If this continues, the sect will be ruined by him sooner or later. Master put down his teacup, looking at him. That gaze was still so strange. The junior disciple felt a little uneasy, but the master spoke. Understood. You did very well. The junior disciple breathed a sigh of relief. The master then said, Go back and rest. I will handle this matter. The junior disciple got up, bowed. Thank you, master. He turned and ran. The door closed. The master picked up his teacup, looking out the window. This child quite serious about acting. Outside the window, Lin Yuan's voice came, stronger than I was back then. The master smiled. You back then? You only knew how to fight back then. Lin Yuan also smiled, still do even now. Under the moonlight, the two of them, separated by the window, smiled at each other. Far away, the junior disciple lay in bed, tossing and turning with excitement. He felt he was getting closer and closer to victory. He didn't know. In the entire sect, only he alone didn't know. Sect minor competition. Once a month, matched by drawing lots. Today, the training grounds were especially crowded, because it was heard that the junior disciple had drawn Lin Yuan. The junior disciple held the lot, his hands trembling. Not from fear. It was excitement. Finally, this day had come. In front of the entire sect, he would let everyone see how this so-called senior disciple bullied the junior disciple. He took a deep breath and began to rehearse. How to charge forward. How to fall. How to scream tragically. Perfect. Lin Yuan stood opposite, holding his sword, his expression calm. The junior disciple looked at him like that, scoffing inwardly. Pretend. Keep pretending. You'll be crying later. The referee elder rang the bell. Sixth match, Lin Yuan versus Su Xiaocha begin. The junior disciple drew his sword, let out a shout, and charged forward. Sword light glinted, full of menacing momentum. The entire crowd stared at him. Still 3 steps away from Lin Yuan, he slipped. His whole body plunged towards the tip of Lin Yuan's sword. Senior disciple Lin Yuan, spare my life. The scream was piercingly tragic. His acting was explosive. Then, he didn't hit it. He lunged into empty air and fell squarely on the ground. Face first, the entire crowd was silent. The junior disciple lay sprawled on the ground, dumbfounded. What happened? He looked up. Lin Yuan stood rooted to the spot, not moving an inch. His sword hadn't even been unsheathed. Lin Yuan looked down at him, his gaze calm. What are you doing? The junior disciple scrambled to his feet, his face beat red. Why didn't you counter my move? Lin Yuan, counter what? The junior disciple. I attacked you. Lin Yuan, didn't see it. The entire audience stifled their laughter. The junior disciple was on the verge of losing his mind. He gritted his teeth and charged forward again. This time, no more pretense, a genuine thrust. The sword tip went straight for Lin Yuan's chest. Then he couldn't move. Lin Yuan extended 2 fingers and pinched his sword. Exactly like last time. The junior disciple pulled with all his might. It wouldn't budge. Lin Yuan looked at him and spoke indifferently. Your lower body is unstable. A flick of his wrist. Your wrist is weak. Another flick. No sword thing whatsoever. Yet another flick. Crack. The sword broke again. The junior disciple looked at the hilt in his hand, and real tears fell. He wasn't acting. It was from sheer anger. Lin Yuan withdrew his hand, and with a flick of his finger, a gentle but irresistible force held the junior disciple rooted to the spot, unable to move. Lin Yuan, you lose. He turned and walked away after speaking. The junior disciple anxiously shouted, I didn't lose. You cheated. You used sorcery. to control me. Lin Yuan didn't look back. The junior disciple shouted even louder, "Master, he cheated. He's a spy from the demonic cult. Seize him quickly." The entire arena fell silent. Everyone looked towards the high platform. The master sat there, resting her chin on her hand, watching with great interest. Hearing this, she raised an eyebrow. "Oh, Yuaner, how could you bully your junior disciple?" Lin Yuan stopped and turned back. "The master, I'll punish you by sending you to Reflection Cliff to face the wall." She paused. For one Shurchen, the entire audience froze for a second. Then, someone couldn't hold it in, followed by a chorus of coughs. One Shurchen, this is called a punishment. The junior disciple was also stunned. "Master." The master waved her hand. "All right, drag him away." Two disciples came up and carried the junior disciple away. He was still shouting, "Master, he's a spy from the demonic cult. I saw it with my own eyes." His voice faded into the distance. On the training grounds, the crowd dispersed. They whispered among themselves as they walked. One Shurchen, "Last time I was late by just an incense stick's burning time and got 3 days punishment." Are you comparing yourself to senior disciple brother? True. On Sword Cliff, Lin Yuan stood there, gazing at the sea of clouds. Footsteps sounded from behind. Shizuan's voice. "Not going to Thought Repentance Cliff?" Lin Yuan didn't turn his head. "No rush." Shizuan walked up beside him. "That's an hour of punishment, you know." Lin Yuan turned to look at her. "Do you really have the heart to let me go?" Shizuan raised an eyebrow. "What's there to feel reluctant about?" Lin Yuan smiled. "All right, I'll go now then." He made to leave. Shizuan grabbed his sleeve. Lin Yuan turned back. Shizuan turned her face away. "You could go a little later, too." Lin Yuan looked at the flush on the tip of her ear, a smile playing on his lips. The two stood side by side as the wind blew past. In the distance, in the dungeon, the junior disciple brother was thrown on the ground, unable to get up for a long time. He gritted his teeth, his eyes bloodshot. "Lin Yuan, you just wait. I still have a trump card." What he didn't know was, at this moment on Thought Repentance Cliff, Lin Yuan was sitting with Shizuan, watching the sunset. Shizuan, he still doesn't seem to give up. Lin Yuan, Shizuan, what do you plan to do? Lin Yuan thought for a moment. Wait for him to make another move. Shizuan smiled. You have such a good temper. Lin Yuan also smiled. It's not a good temper. Shizuan, then what is it? Lin Yuan looked at her, saying nothing. The setting sun shone on the two of them, casting long shadows. In the distance, in the dungeon, the junior disciple brother got up, wiping away his tears. He had decided he'd go tonight to find Shizuan, to report him, to denounce Lin Yuan utterly. He refused to believe Shizuan could still protect him. Night deepened. Green Jade's sect was quiet. A dark shadow crept out from the direction of the dungeon, furtively. It was the junior disciple brother. He had been locked in the dungeon during the day, and when the night shift guards changed, he seized the opportunity to slip out. He headed straight for Shizuan's sleeping quarters. Asterisk knock knock knock. Asterisco comein. The junior disciple brother pushed the door open and dropped to his knees with a thud. His tears were already ready. Shizuan, draped in an outer robe, leaned on the divan, a cup of tea still in her hand. Seeing him, she raised an eyebrow. How did you get out? The junior disciple brother kowtowed. Shizuan, please forgive me. Your disciple has urgent matters to report and had no choice but to seek an audience tonight. Shizuan took a sip of tea. Speak. The junior disciple brother looked up, his eyes bloodshot. Shizuan, today I was publicly humiliated by senior disciple brother Lin Yuan and locked in the dungeon. These are nothing. Your disciple can bear it. He paused, his voice trembling. But last night, your disciple had a dream. I dreamt that senior disciple brother Lin Yuan was a demonic overlord, slaughtering the sect disciples. Blood flowed like rivers. Corpses lay everywhere. Your disciple awoke in a fright in the middle of the night, covered in a cold sweat. He lay prostrate on the ground, trembling and sobbing. Master, what one thinks about by day, one dreams about by night. Why did this disciple have such a dream? It's because this disciple has always found senior brother Lin Yuan suspicious. The way he looks at people, his tone of voice when he speaks, his eerie methods. Today he used demonic arts to incapacitate this disciple. That is clearly not a righteous cultivation method. For the safety of our sect, this disciple implores Master. Cripple his cultivation and banish him from the mountain. Having spoken, he kowtowed, his head hitting the ground with resounding thuds. Silence descended upon the sleeping quarters for 3 seconds. The Master, holding a teacup, watched him. That gaze was still so strange. But the junior disciple didn't look up, so he didn't see it. He waited for his master's fury, waited for his master to issue a command. Then the Master smiled. The laugh was soft, carrying a hint of amusement. The junior disciple froze, then looked up. The Master looked at him, a smile in her eyes, but it was a cold smile. Understood. It was those same 3 words again. The junior disciple's heart sank. The Master put down her teacup and spoke blandly. You did very well. Go back and rest. The junior disciple opened his mouth. Master, what about Lin Yuan? The Master, I will handle it. The junior disciple wanted to say more, but meeting his master's gaze, he swallowed his words. He got up, bowed, and said, This disciple takes his leave. He turned and walked out. Reaching the doorway, he looked back again. The Master was already leaning on the couch, her eyes closed. The junior disciple gritted his teeth and pushed the door open. The door closed. He stood outside the door. The wind blew, and it felt a little cold. He still felt something was amiss, but he couldn't pinpoint it. Never mind. Master said she would handle it. Then he would wait. He pulled his robes tighter and walked back in the darkness. Inside the sleeping quarters, the Master opened her eyes and spoke to the window. Heard enough? Outside the window, bathed in moonlight, a figure stood with hands clasped behind their back. Lin Yuan's voice came. The Master, this child, he's getting better and better at fabricating stories. Lin Yuan, slaughter in sect disciples. Me? The Master smiled. In his dream, of course. Lin Yuan also smiled and pushed the door open to enter. The Master looked at him. What do you plan to do? Lin Yuan sat down beside her. Didn't I say, I'll play along with him? The Master, until when will you play along? Lin Yuan, until the person behind him can't wait any longer. The Master raised an eyebrow. Are you sure there's someone behind him? Lin Yuan glanced at her. Didn't you know when you took him in? The Master paused, then smiled. The two, Master and disciple, were testing each other. Lin Yuan, in that great war 2 years ago, 5 saints from the demonic sect died, and 2 were severely wounded. The rest vanished without a trace. Now, a junior disciple with exceptional talent suddenly appears, conveniently picked up by you during your travels. The Master interjected, conveniently sweet-tongued and good at winning favor, and conveniently, half a year later, someone comes to stir up trouble. The 2 exchange a glance. Lin Yuan, too much of a coincidence. The Master, indeed, too much of a coincidence. Outside the window, the moon hid behind the clouds. The Master turned to look at him. So that's why you've been enduring it all this time? Lin Yuan, it's not good to alert the enemy. Master, so, about his complaint today, what's your take? Lin Yuan thought for a moment. Soon. Master, what soon? Lin Yuan, the person behind him will soon be unable to sit still. Master was silent for a while. Then she spoke. You honor. Lin Yuan, Master looked at him, her gaze gentle. These 2 years in seclusion, you've worked hard. Lin Yuan was slightly taken aback. Then he smiled. It was no hardship. Master, 2 years ago in that great battle, you fought 7 by yourself, then went into seclusion for 2 years after returning, and now you even have to act with me. Lin Yuan interrupted her. Master. Master, Lin Yuan looked at her, saying earnestly, I'm willing to. The sleeping chambers fell silent. Moonlight streamed in through the window, falling upon the 2 of them. Master turned her face away, the tips of her ears turning red again. Lin Yuan's lips curved into a smile. He stood up. I'm leaving. Master. Lin Yuan walked to the door, then turned back. Master was still sitting there. Her profile in the moonlight was very beautiful. He paused, then spoke. Master. Master looked up. Lin Yuan. Next time he comes to complain, you can act a little more genuinely. Master raised an eyebrow. How genuinely? Lin Yuan smiled. For example, scold me a bit. After speaking, he pushed the door open and left. Master was stunned for a long time, then she smiled. Scold him? She couldn't bear to. In the distance, the junior marshal brother stealthily returned to the dungeon, lay down, and stared at the ceiling. The more he thought about it, the more excited he became. His complaint tonight was perfect. Master said she would handle it. Tomorrow, Lin Yuan would definitely be unlucky. He rolled over, a smile on his lips, and fell asleep. In his dream, he saw Lin Yuan's cultivation crippled, kneeling on the ground begging for mercy. He stood beside him, smiling happily. What he didn't know was, at this moment, on the back mountain of Qingyu Gate, a black shadow flashed by, disappearing into the dense forest. A moment later, a wisp of black mist drilled out from underground, vanishing into the night. Late at night, the moon was dark and the wind was fierce. The junior marshal brother lay in the dungeon, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. He was still thinking about what had happened during the day. Master said she would handle it. But what about the handling? Lin Yuan was still perfectly fine. The more he thought about it, the angrier he became. He got up and walked to the window. The dungeon window was very small, only allowing him to see a patch of sky the size of a palm. It was pitch black without even a single star. He sighed. Just then, a wisp of black energy emerged from underground. The junior disciple took a frightened step back. The black energy twisted, coalescing into a blurry face. Su Xiaochai. The junior disciple's legs gave out, and he knelt down. Sect. Sect master. The face stared at him. How are things progressing? The junior disciple cowed out. Your disciple is handling it. I've already gained master's trust. As for Lin Yuan, your disciple is also trying to discredit him. The face was silent for a moment. Lin Yuan? Who is that? The junior disciple. He's the senior disciple of the Azure Jade sect, just emerged from 2 years of secluded cultivation. Your disciple has inquired, and his reputation within the sect is terrible. He's a taboo. No one dares mention him. The elders' faces darken whenever he's brought up. The face sneered. A bad reputation? Then he's unpopular. Find a way to eliminate him. The junior disciple gritted his teeth. Your disciple understands. The face. What is the Azure Jade sect's current strength? The junior disciple thought for a moment. Sect Master Lung Yuechan, Peak Saint. Several elders, varying from mid to late saint stage. As for Lin Yuan, your disciple can't see through him, but at most he's also Peak Saint. The face laughed. Peak Saint? Nothing special. The black energy churned. Continue your undercover work. Await my instructions. The junior disciple. Yes. The black energy drilled back underground, disappearing from sight. The junior disciple slumped to the ground, his back drenched in sweat. But his heart pounded. The sect master had personally contacted him. It showed how important he was. He scrambled up, clenching his fists. Lin Yuan, you just wait. Outside the window, the moon emerged from behind clouds. In the dungeon, the junior disciple wore an eerie smile. He didn't know. At this moment, on the back mountain of the Azure Jade sect, Lin Yuan stood on the highest peak, his divine sense encompassing the entire sect. The wisp of black energy in the dungeon, he saw it clearly. He even heard the entire conversation perfectly. A corner of his mouth curved upwards. Just as expected, Master walked over and stood beside him. How is it? Lin Yuan, the demon sect master, early quasi-emperor stage. Master raised an eyebrow. Quasi-emperor? Lin Yuan, the one who escaped 2 years ago. Master was silent for a moment. In that great battle 2 years ago, 7 saints from the demon sect. 5 died, 2 were severely wounded. The sect master had escaped. Lin Yuan was also severely wounded at the time and couldn't pursue. He didn't expect that after 2 years of recuperation, he would resurface again. Master, he came for the junior disciple. Lin Yuan, to have the junior disciple eliminate me. Master paused, then laughed. Eliminate you? Lin Yuan also smiled. Exactly. They exchanged a look and both laughed. After Master had finished laughing, he said seriously, What do you plan to do? Lin Yuan looked at the dungeon down the mountain. We'll turn their scheme against them. Master, how so? Lin Yuan, doesn't he want to eliminate me? I'll give him the opportunity. Master raised an eyebrow. Lin Yuan, have him relay a message. Tell him the sect protection formation has a loophole, and have him bring people. Master, then what? Lin Yuan, then we'll close the door and beat the dog. Master thought for a moment, then nodded. All right. What do you need me to do? Lin Yuan turned to look at her. Play your part well. Shirzun, what part? Lin Yuan, continue to spoil junior brother. Let him think you're on his side. Shirzun smiled. I can do that. The two stood side by side as the wind blew past. Moonlight spilled down, illuminating them. Shizun suddenly spoke. Yuan, Lin Yuan, Shirzun, that battle 2 years ago, you were gravely injured, weren't you? Lin Yuan said nothing. Shirzun looked at him. Secluding yourself for 2 years, was it truly to recover from injuries? Lin Yuan was silent for a moment. Then he spoke. Just one word. Shirzun didn't ask further. But she knew that injuries requiring a quasi-emperor to recover for 2 years were definitely not minor. She reached out and took Lin Yuan's hand. Lin Yuan was startled for a moment, then looked down at her. Shirzun didn't look at him, but at the lights of the town below the mountain. But her grip was very tight. Lin Yuan squeezed her hand back. The two stood like that, neither speaking. In the distant dungeon, junior brother was already asleep, still smiling in his sleep. In his dream, he saw Lin Yuan kneeling before him, begging for mercy. He didn't know. The true hunter was watching him from the mountain. The next day, sunlight streamed into the dungeon. Junior brother was released. The guard disciple said, Shirzun ordered your release. Junior brother was overjoyed. Shirzun really was on his side. He ran out of the dungeon, straight to the dining hall. He was starving. In the dining hall, the senior sisters were eating. Seeing him enter, they were all momentarily stunned. Junior brother greeted them with a smile. Good morning, senior sisters. First senior sister nodded, saying nothing. Junior brother didn't mind, sitting down to eat immediately. As he ate, he suddenly remembered something. Senior sister, is senior brother Lin Yuan here today? First senior sister's chopsticks paused. Junior brother, I want to apologize to him. I was wrong last time. First senior sister glanced at him, her expression a little strange. But she still spoke, Swordcliffe. Junior brother, thank you, senior sister. He finished his meal in a few bites and ran off. In the dining hall, the senior sisters exchanged glances. Second senior sister whispered, He's going to find senior brother? First senior sister, Second senior sister, what for? To apologize. First senior sister was silent for a moment. Then she spoke, Go tell Shirzun. Third senior sister stood up and ran off. On Swordcliffe, Lin Yuan was practicing his sword. Sword light flashed like snow, his robes fluttering. Junior brother stood far away, not daring to approach. Only after Lin Yuan sheathed his sword did he run over. Senior brother Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan turned and looked at him. That gaze was still the same. The junior disciple felt a shiver of dread, but gritted his teeth and endured. He forced a smile. Senior brother Lin Yuan, I was wrong yesterday. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that in front of so many people. I've come to apologize. Lin Yuan watched him. He said nothing. Lin Yuan's gaze sent a chill down the junior disciple's spine, but he still braced himself and said, Senior brother is magnanimous. Please don't hold this junior disciple's foolishness against him. After speaking, he bowed. Lin Yuan was silent for 3 seconds. Then he spoke. Understood. Those same 2 words again. The junior disciple paused, then looked up. Lin Yuan had already turned and walked away. The junior disciple stood rooted to the spot, unmoving for a long while. Understood? Is that all? He gritted his teeth, but with a smile still on his face, he turned and left. He didn't know. The moment he turned, Lin Yuan looked back at him. That gaze was like looking at a dead man. The mess hall. Lunchtime, when it was most crowded. Lin Yuan, a rare sight, sat in a corner holding a bowl. A circle around him automatically emptied. No one dared to sit next to him. The junior disciple held his bowl, watching from afar, a cold sneer forming in his heart. What's he trying to put on? Just a nobody no one cares about. He was about to lower his head and eat when he suddenly heard Lin Yuan speak. The voice wasn't loud, but it was just enough for those nearby to hear. I hear the sect's protective formation hasn't been very stable lately. The alchemy elder, seated opposite him, froze. What? Lin Yuan picked up a piece of food. There's a problem with the core formation. Every 7 days, it will fail for a quarter of an hour at midnight. The alchemy elder's chopsticks clattered to the floor. This? How do you know about this? Lin Yuan glanced at him. I'm the one who maintains it. The alchemy elder fell silent. A silence fell over the surroundings. Everyone lowered their heads to eat, but their ears were perked up. The junior disciple's heart thumped rapidly. The sect's protective formation? Failing? For a quarter of an hour? He lowered his head, frantically shoveling rice, trying not to laugh out loud. This news was too important. He had to tell the sect leader. He absolutely had to tell the sect leader. He didn't know. The alchemy elder dropping his chopsticks was Lin Yuan's doing, using spiritual energy. He didn't know. The disciples around them, eating with their heads bowed, were all stifling laughter. What he didn't know even more was, while Lin Yuan was speaking, his divine sense had been focused on him the entire time. After dinner, the junior disciple found a deserted corner and crouched there for a long while, waiting until nightfall. When night fell, when everyone was asleep, he crept out of the dungeon and slipped into the dense forest of the back mountain. He looked around, no one. He took out a jade slip and lowered his voice. Sect Master, your disciple has overheard important news. The core of the Qingyu sect's protective grand formation is unstable, and it will fail for 15 minutes every 7 days at midnight. The next time is in 3 days. After speaking, he crushed the jade slip. Dark energy burrowed into the ground and vanished. The junior disciple brother breathed a sigh of relief, wiping the sweat from his brow. It was done. In 3 days, the sect master would lead his people in. Qingyu sect was finished. Lin Yuan was also finished. He couldn't help but laugh out loud. Covering his mouth, he shook all over with laughter. When he had had his fill of laughter, he got up and crept back to the dungeon. He lay down and slept. His dreams were filled with laughter. Little did he know, on the peak of the back mountain, Lin Yuan stood with his hands clasped behind his back, his divine sense monitoring everything from start to finish. Behind him, his master walked over. Was it sent out? Lin Yuan. Master, in 3 days? Lin Yuan, in 3 days. Master looked at him. Are you sure he'll come? Lin Yuan smiled. He ran away 2 years ago, suppressed his feelings for 2 years, and finally recovered from his injuries with great difficulty. Now that he has a chance for revenge, how could he not come? Master thought for a moment, then nodded. Then she asked, how many people will come? Lin Yuan, I don't know. Master, can we defeat them? Lin Yuan turned to look at her and smiled. Master also smiled. That question was unnecessary. A peak quasi-emperor fighting an early-stage quasi-emperor. They could win with their eyes closed. Lin Yuan, how are preparations on your side? Master, the sect-protecting grand formation has been adjusted. It usually looks like it's about to break, but in crucial moments, it's tougher than anything. Lin Yuan nodded. What about the disciples? Master, they've all been instructed. Those who should act, act. Those who should hide, hide. Lin Yuan, the elders? Master smiled. They're even more excited than you. Lin Yuan also smiled. The two stood side by side, looking at the dungeon below the mountain. Under the moonlight, the dungeon was as silent as a tomb. Masta suddenly spoke. Yuan Lin Yuan. Master, after this matter is concluded, what are your plans? Lin Yuan was silent for a moment. Then he said, haven't thought about it. Master turned to look at him. Lin Yuan looked into the distance. First, finish the matter at hand. Master, then what? Lin Yuan said nothing. The wind blew, a little chilly. Master leaned closer to him. Lin Yuan looked down at her. Under the moonlight, her profile was beautiful. Lin Yuan suddenly wanted to say something, but the words reached his lips, then he swallowed them back. Never mind. We'll talk after the fight. 3 days later, the Azure Jade sect looked the same as usual. Disciples practiced their cultivation when they should, ate their meals when they should. Elders refined pills when they should, stared blankly when they should. Everything was normal. But if you looked closely, the disciples' swords were all within easy reach. Beside the elders' alchemy furnaces, weapons lay ready. At the mountain gate, the old disciple, sweeping the floor, moved very slowly, his eyes constantly scanning the sky. In the mess hall, senior sister had prepared 3 times the usual amount of food. No one spoke, but everyone knew. Tonight, something was going to happen. The junior disciple also felt that something was amiss, but he thought it was his imagination. He squatted in a corner, watching the sky. The sun gradually set. The moon gradually rose. His heart beat faster and faster. Soon, sect master, come quickly. He didn't know. On the back mountain peak, Lin Yuan and his master stood side by side. Behind them, all the disciples of the sect were arrayed, ready for battle. Lin Yuan spoke. Are you all ready? His master, ready. Lin Yuan, then we wait. He looked at the gradually darkening sky. A slight curve played on his lips. Cool, me. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Midnight. The Azure Jade sect was as silent as a tomb. The junior disciple squatted in the corner of the dungeon, his heart pounding. Soon. He stared at the window, at that small patch of sky. The moon was full. Clouds drifted over, obscuring the moon, then drifted away, obscured again, drifted away again. Suddenly, the sky turned black. It wasn't clouds. It was demonic energy. Overwhelming demonic energy surged from all directions, covering the entire sky. The junior disciple trembled all over, not from fear, but from excitement. The sect master is here. He scrambled up and rushed to the window. In the sky, demonic energy surged, and a figure stepped out, treading on air. The demon sect master, a quasi-emperor realm cultivator. Behind him, 8 figures stood in a row. The 8 great sages. The junior disciple was ecstatic. He frantically pounded on the door. Open the door. Let me out. I'm a hero. No one paid him any mind. He got anxious and kicked the door open. No one stopped him. Everyone ran toward the mountain gate. He ran after them. He ran to the mountain gate and stopped. The master of the demonic sect hung in midair, looking down at the Green Jade sect. 8 saints stood behind him, their demonic energy surging to the heavens. The junior disciple knelt with a thud, kowtowed and shouted, Master, your disciple Su Xiaocha has not failed his mission. The master of the demonic sect looked down at him and smiled. Good. With the Green Jade sect's destruction today, you shall be credited with the greatest merit. Tears welled up in the junior disciple's eyes. He scrambled to his feet, turned, and shouted at the Green Jade sect. Lin Yuan, come out. His voice echoed in the night sky. He shouted with all his might, his voice hoarse. You never would have guessed, would you? I was sent by the demonic sect all along. You thought you were on the 3rd layer? Actually, I'm on the 5th layer. Ha 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 ha. He laughed, trembling all over. When he had laughed enough, he turned back to look at the master of the demonic sect, waiting for the master to praise him. But the master of the demonic sect wasn't looking at him. The master of the demonic sect was staring at the Green Jade sect. His eyes widened more and more. The junior disciple was stunned and followed his gaze. Inside the Green Jade sect, lights blazed brightly. All the disciples filed out, lining up in the training ground. In perfect formation. No one ran. No one shouted. No one panicked. The junior disciple was dumbfounded. Why aren't they running? The master of the demonic sect was also dumbfounded. Where's the sect-protecting grand array? Wasn't it supposed to be inactive? Why is it still glowing? He stared at the grand array. The light was dazzling, brighter than he had ever seen it. A sudden chill ran down his spine. A figure stepped from the back mountain, walking through the void. Lin Yuan. His peak quasi-emperor aura unleashed its full power. Heaven and earth changed color. The wind stopped. The clouds stopped. Even the demonic energy dared not stir. Lin Yuan landed before the mountain gate, standing with his hands clasped behind his back. He looked at the master of the demonic sect and spoke calmly. I've been waiting for you for a long time. The master of the demonic sect's pupils suddenly contracted. Peak quasi-emperor. His voice was distorted. 2 years ago, you were only a peak saint. Lin Yuan looked at him. His gaze was calm. 2 years ago. Oh, that was just an act. The master of the demonic sect's mind buzzed. An act? Pretending to be injured? Pretending to be in seclusion. He turned, intending to flee. The moment he turned, the sect-protecting grand array burst into brilliant light. A light barrier descended, sealing off all escape routes. The 8 saints turned completely pale. The demonic sect master turned, staring at Lin Yuan. You were waiting for me all along. Lin Yuan didn't answer. He looked at his junior brother. His junior brother had already collapsed to the ground, his legs too weak to stand. He looked at Lin Yuan, his lips trembling. No. Impossible. Lin Yuan walked up to him, looking down. The taboo. Yes, I am the taboo. Do you know why? His junior brother shook his head. Lin Yuan squatted down, meeting his gaze. Because I'm too strong. Ordinary disciples don't dare mention me. They fear me. The elders don't want to mention me because I've beaten them all, which is humiliating, so no one talks about it. But no one told you. He paused. I am the stabilizing pillar of the Azure Jade sect. Tears streamed down his junior brother's face. I didn't know. Lin Yuan stood up. Behind him, the demonic sect master suddenly lunged, striking a palm at Lin Yuan's back. His junior brother's eyes lit up. Kill him. Kill him. Then he saw. Lin Yuan didn't even turn his head. He struck back with a palm. The 2 palms collided. The demonic sect master flew backward, crashing into the light barrier, spitting blood. Only then did Lin Yuan turn around and look at him. A quasi-emperor in the early stage dares to ambush me? The demonic sect master lay paralyzed on the ground, unable to move. All 8 saints knelt on the ground. His junior brother was utterly dumbfounded. He turned his head, looking towards the high platform. His master stood there, holding a teacup. Behind him, his senior sisters stood. The alchemist elder stood. The sword Dao elder stood. Everyone was looking at him. He understood that look, like looking at a joke. His junior brother opened his mouth, but no words came out. His master spoke, his voice calm. Every piece of information you spread was something Yuan told you to spread. Otherwise, did you think you could eavesdrop on the weaknesses of the sect-protecting formation? His junior brother's mind went blank. He looked at Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan looked at him, his gaze still the same. Calm, like looking at an ant. His junior brother suddenly laughed. He laughed, then burst into tears. He knelt on the ground, muttering to himself. This isn't how the script goes. No one paid him any mind. Lin Yuan turned, looking at the demonic sect master. The one who escaped 2 years ago. That was you, wasn't it? The demonic sect master gritted his teeth, saying nothing. Lin Yuan took a step closer. Of the 7 sages, 5 were killed, 2 critically wounded. You ran. I spent 2 years recovering from my injuries. He squatted down, looking into the demonic sect master's eyes. Today it's time to settle the score. The demonic sect master trembled all over. He wanted to resist, but under the oppressive power of a peak quasi-emperor, he couldn't even move. Lin Yuan raised his hand. He brought a palm down. The demonic energy dispersed. The moon emerged. The night at Qingyu sect became quiet. The demonic sect master knelt on the ground. A nascent quasi-emperor, he didn't even have the strength to resist in front of Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan looked down at him. 2 years ago, you were quick to flee. Today, will you still run? The demonic sect master gritted his teeth, saying nothing. Lin Yuan raised his hand. The demonic sect master trembled, closing his eyes. The palm fell. The demonic energy dispersed. The man fell. A nascent quasi-emperor, killed with a single palm strike. 8 sages knelt in a row, trembling with fear. Lin Yuan looked at them. Surrender or die. The 8 spoke in unison. Surrender. Lin Yuan waved his hand. The elders stepped forward, sealed their cultivation, and led them away. The training ground fell silent. All the disciples watched Lin Yuan. Their eyes filled with adoration. The old disciple who swept the floors dropped his broom. The alchemy elder stroked his beard, smiling like a blooming flower. The Sword Dao elder, rarely one to speak, said, "This lad has grown stronger again." The senior sisters stood together, the youngest sister whispering, "Senior brother is so handsome." The eldest senior sister tapped her on the head. "Shut up." But she too was secretly looking. Lin Yuan paid no attention to them. He turned, looking at his junior brother. The junior brother was still sprawled on the ground. His legs were so weak he couldn't stand. Lin Yuan walked over. With every step Lin Yuan took, the junior brother trembled. He stopped in front of him. The junior brother looked up at him. His lips trembled. What do you want to do?" Lin Yuan said nothing. He squatted down, meeting his gaze. Tears streamed down the junior brother's face. "I'm sorry. I'm really, truly sorry." Lin Yuan looked at him. "What did you go wrong?" The junior disciple was stunned. Where did he go wrong? He had made so many mistakes, he didn't know where to begin. Lin Yuan waited for 3 seconds. He stood up. "Never mind." The junior disciple was stunned. "Never mind. What did he mean?" Lin Yuan turned and left. The junior disciple shouted from behind, "You're not going to kill me." Lin Yuan didn't even turn his head. "No." The junior disciple was overjoyed. Then he heard the next sentence. "Crippled his cultivation and lock him up." The junior disciple's mind buzzed. Crippled his cultivation? He had cultivated for hundreds of years, finally reaching the saint realm. He lunged forward, trying to grab Lin Yuan's leg. Lin Yuan sidestepped, avoiding him. 2 disciples came forward and dragged the junior disciple away. He was still shouting, "Lin Yuan, you'll die a horrible death. I won't let you off even as a ghost." His voice faded into the distance. On the training ground, it became completely silent. Lin Yuan stood still, looking at the sky. The moon was very round. The wind blew, carrying the scent of flowers from the foot of the mountain. Footsteps sounded from behind him. Master's voice. "Is it over?" Lin Yuan turned his head. Master stood behind him, holding a teacup. But there was no tea in the cup. It had already grown cold. Lin Yuan smiled, "Yes, it's over." Master looked at him. In the moonlight, his face looked a bit tired. In that battle 2 years ago, he fought 7 opponents alone, suffered severe injuries, and went into seclusion. 2 years later, he came out and fought another battle. Master softly asked, "Are you tired?" Lin Yuan thought for a moment. "I'm all right." Master reached out and tugged his sleeve. "Come, let's go back and rest." Lin Yuan paused, then smiled. The 2 walked back side by side. Behind them, on the training ground, the disciples were still there. But none of them dared to follow. The youngest junior sister whispered, "Master and senior brother, they seem to be." The senior sister covered her mouth. "Don't speak." But she also smiled. The next day, sunlight shone into green jade gate. In the dining hall, it was bustling with noise. The junior sister chirped, "Did you see it? Senior brother's palm strike." The sky turned black. The second sister, "Nonsense at the peak of quasi-emperor, what do you know?" The third sister, "That demon sect leader, gone with 1 palm strike. That's too tragic." The senior sister tapped her bowl. Eat, stop talking." But she was also smiling. At the entrance, Lin Yuan walked in. Everyone instantly fell silent. Lin Yuan was startled for a moment, then smiled. "Why are you looking at me?" "Eat." He walked to a corner and sat down. A circle around him automatically emptied out. But this time was different. The youngest junior sister, holding her bowl, moved closer. "Senior brother, can I sit here?" Lin Yuan looked up. The youngest junior sister blinked her eyes, smiling sweetly. Li Yun nodded, seed. The youngest junior sister sat down. The second senior sister also moved closer. The third senior sister also moved closer. The eldest senior sister, holding her bowl, stood for 3 seconds, then also moved closer. For the first time, the space around Lin Yuan was filled with people. He was startled for a moment. Then he smiled. He lowered his head and continued eating. After the meal, on Sword Cliff, Lin Yuan stood there, looking at the sea of clouds. Footsteps sounded from behind him. Master's voice alone. Lin Yuan turned around. Master walked over and stood beside him. The two stood side by side. The wind blew past. Master suddenly spoke. Yuan. Lin Yuan. Master. Thank you. Lin Yuan turned to look at her. For what? Master looked into the distance. Thank you for protecting Qingyu sect. Lin Yuan was silent for a moment. Then he spoke. It's what I should do. Master. And Lin Yuan. Master turned to look at him, her gaze gentle. Thank you for still being here. Lin Yuan froze. Master continued. During those 2 years you were in seclusion, I waited for you here every day. I was afraid you wouldn't wake up. I was afraid you wouldn't come back. Her voice trembled slightly. Lin Yuan looked at her. Sunlight shone on her face, her eyes a little red. He reached out and held her hand. I'm back. Master lowered her head, looking at the hand he held. She didn't pull it away. The two stood like this, looking at the sea of clouds. In the distance, on the training ground, the disciples were practicing swordplay. The senior sisters glanced towards Sword Cliff as they practiced. The youngest junior sister whispered, What are Master and senior brother doing? The eldest senior sister tapped her on the head. Practice your sword. The youngest junior sister rubbed her head, chuckling. There's still a long road ahead. The story of Qingyu sect continues. Sunlight shone into Qingyu sect. Another ordinary day. On Sword Cliff, Lin Yuan was practicing his sword. The sword light was like snow, his robes fluttering. After finishing a set of sword techniques, he sheathed his sword and stood still. Then he turned his head. Not far away, his master stood there, dressed in blue robes. A few strands of her hair were stirred by the wind. Seeing him turn around, she calmly said, Just passing by. Lin Yuan smiled. How many times had it been just passing by? He didn't count, but he remembered very clearly. Ever since the great battle half a year ago, every day he practiced his sword, she would pass by. Lin Yuan, morning. His master nodded. Morning. Then both fell silent. The wind blew. Clouds drifted by. Sword Cliff was as quiet as a painting. Finally, his master spoke first. Your sword techniques have improved. Lin Yuan, His master. But it's not enough yet. Lin Yuan, His master. Keep practicing. Lin Yuan, Okay. His master turned and left. After a few steps, she turned back again. The mess hall has your favorite spirit fruit today. Having said that, she quickly departed. Lin Yuan watched her receding figure, a smile playing on his lips. He lowered his head and continued practicing his sword. The sword light was faster than before. In the mess hall, it was bustling with activity. As Lin Yuan walked in, everyone automatically cleared a path, not out of fear, but out of respect. In that battle half a year ago, he alone destroyed the demon sect master and saved the entire Azure Jade sect. Now he was everyone's hero. Junior sister bounced over. Senior brother, sit here. I saved you a spot. Lin Yuan nodded and sat down. A plate of spirit fruit was placed before him, with the largest and reddest one on top. Junior sister blinked. Master specifically arranged this. She said you love this. Lin Yuan's chopsticks paused slightly. Second senior sister next to him chimed in. Master has been really good to senior brother lately. Third senior sister whispered. Not just lately, right? It's always been like this, hasn't it? First senior sister coughed. Eat your food. But she herself also smiled. Lin Yuan didn't speak, lowering his head to eat. As he ate, the corners of his mouth still curled upwards. After the meal, Lin Yuan walked out of the mess hall. The sunlight was dazzling. He squinted slightly. Then he saw a group of people standing outside the mountain gate. Leading them was an old man, a late-stage quasi-emperor, with an extraordinary aura. Behind him followed over a dozen disciples, each in the saint realm. Lin Yuan raised an eyebrow. People from the Heavenly Sword sect? When the old man saw him, his eyes lit up, and he strode over. Fellow Taoist Lin Yuan, I've long admired your reputation. Lin Yuan nodded. Sect Master, you're too kind. The Heavenly Sword sect master laughed heartily, taking his hand. Fellow Taoist Lin, this old man has ventured to visit uninvited, as there is something I wish to consult you about. Lin Yuan, please speak. The sovereign of the Heavenly Sword sect looked at him, his gaze intense. Fellow Taoist Lin, with your cultivation, you should have long ascended to the upper realm. Why do you delay? Lin Yuan hadn't answered yet. Out of the corner of his eye, he glimpsed Shizun had just walked out of the dining hall entrance. But she didn't come over. Instead, she turned and went to the adjacent garden. She began trimming flower branches. However, that garden was in the direction of Sword Cliff. Lin Yuan smiled. He raised his voice. There are still ties in the lower realm. The sovereign of the Heavenly Sword sect was momentarily stunned. Ties. Lin Yuan, yes. A very important person. A crisp snap came from the garden. Shizun's scissors, in her hand, had snipped off a perfectly blooming flower branch. The sovereign of the Heavenly Sword sect looked thoughtfully in the direction of the garden. He lowered his voice. Fellow Taoist Lin, some things you have to seize the moment. Although cultivators have long lifespans, some people, once missed, are missed for a lifetime. Lin Yuan nodded. Thank you, Sovereign, for your guidance. After exchanging a few more pleasantries, the sovereign of the Heavenly Sword sect bid farewell and left. Lin Yuan stood rooted, looking toward the garden. Shizun was still trimming flower branches, but that branch had already been trimmed bald by her. Lin Yuan walked over. Shizun looked up, her expression calm. Has the guest left? Lin Yuan, Shizun, then you go attend to your matters, she said, and was about to clip again. Lin Yuan reached out and grasped her wrist. Shizun froze. Lin Yuan, it's already bald. Shizun looked down at the flower branch in her hand. It was bare, not a single leaf left. Her face reddened, and she shook off his hand. I like to. Then she turned and walked away. Lin Yuan stood still, watching her retreating back. He smiled. Dusk was falling. Lin Yuan returned to his sleeping chambers. He sat down cross-legged, about to cultivate. His divine sense habitually spread out, enveloping the entire sect. Then he saw, outside his sleeping chambers, Shizun stood there. Under the moonlight, she stood in white robes for a long time. She raised her hand, wanted to knock on the door, then lowered it again, raised it again, lowered it again. Finally, she only left behind a light, almost inaudible whisper, Yuaner, you should leave. Don't delay yourself for my sake. With that, she turned and left. Her silhouette disappeared into the night. Inside the sleeping chambers, Lin Yuan opened his eyes. He looked at the empty spot outside the door. He didn't move for a long time. Then he stood up. He walked to the window, looking in the direction Shizun had departed. The moonlight was very bright, and his eyes were equally so. Shizun, he murmured softly, I'm not going anywhere. The next day, sunlight streamed into the Qingyu sect. In the dining hall, Lin Yuan was eating. Before him was still the plate of spirit fruits, the largest and reddest one sitting prominently on top. His junior sister leaned in, whispering, Senior brother, why didn't Shizun come today? Lin Yuan's chopsticks paused midair. True. Normally at this hour, Shizun would happen to pass by the dining hall. But not today. He put down his chopsticks and stood up. His junior sister asked, Senior brother, are you finished eating? Lin Yuan replied. He left the dining hall and headed towards Shizun's sleeping quarters. Halfway there, he bumped into someone. It was a messenger disciple, running breathlessly. Upon seeing Lin Yuan, he stopped and bowed. Senior brother, someone's here at the mountain gate. Who? Lin Yuan asked. The Taishang Immortal Sect. They've brought an invitation, the messenger disciple replied. Lin Yuan raised an eyebrow. The Taishang immortal sect? The foremost sect of the righteous path, with an ancestor at the peak of the quasi-emperor realm presiding over it. They usually had no dealings with the Qingyu sect. Why were they here now? He took the invitation and opened it. After a quick scan, his brows furrowed. A marriage alliance. The Taishang immortal sect intended to marry their saintess to him, claiming it was for the two families to form an alliance and jointly govern the righteous path. Lin Yuan closed the invitation. Where are they? Waiting at the mountain gate. The messenger disciple replied. Lead the way. At the mountain gate, a richly robed envoy stood with his nose in the air. Behind him were 4 disciples, each one full of swagger. Seeing Lin Yuan, the envoy sized him up with a forced, insincere smile. Fellow Taoist Lin Yuan, I've long heard of your esteemed name. Our sect's saintess, Bai Ruashi, is a peerless beauty and a heavenly talent at the peak of the saint realm. She is more than enough for you. This is your great fortune. Lin Yuan remained silent. His gaze was fixed behind the envoy. Shizuan had arrived. She stood not far away, her face calm. But Lin Yuan saw that the handkerchief in her hand was being twisted almost to shreds. The envoy continued. The two families will form an alliance to jointly govern the righteous path. What is your intention, fellow Taoist Lin? Lin Yuan spoke. I'm not interested. The envoy was stunned. What? I won't marry her. The envoy's face changed. Fellow Taoist Lin, have you thought this through? Our sect's saintess is someone countless heavenly talents beg for, but cannot attain. You are truly ungrateful. Lin Yuan looked at him, his eyes growing cold. Just as he was about to speak, a voice came from nearby. He's ungrateful? It was Shizuan. She walked over and stood beside Lin Yuan. The envoy saw her and was startled. Sect Masterlung? Shizuan looked at him. Your supreme immortal sect, you want to propose a marriage alliance? The envoy puffed out his chest. Yes. This is giving fellow Taoist Lin face. Shizuan, then do you know whose disciple he is? The envoy, naturally, he is sect Master Lung's disciple. Shizuan, then I, as his master, do not agree. The envoy's expression turned ugly. Sect Master Lung, you are only at the peak of the saint realm, this matter. He didn't finish, because Lin Yuan moved. Lin Yuan raised his hand, and a pure stream of spiritual energy flowed into Shizuan's body. That was the medicinal power transformed from the boundary-breaking pill he had prepared 2 years ago. He hadn't found a suitable opportunity to give it to her. Now was the perfect time. Shizane aura instant surgi. Peak of the saint realm, early stage, quasi-emperor. Firmly and steadily. The entire place fell silent. The envoy's mouth hung open, forgetting to close it. Lin Yuan looked at him. Now? Does she have the right to speak? The envoy's face flushed red, then turned pale. Shizuan was also stunned. She looked at Lin Yuan, her eyes slightly red. Lin Yuan didn't look at her, staring at the envoy. Go back and tell your sect master. The marriage alliance, we won't accept. The saintess, we won't marry. The Azure Jade Gate, we won't ally with. The envoy gritted his teeth. Lin Yuan, you are slapping the supreme immortal sect in the face. Lin Yuan, yes. The envoy trembled with rage, turned around, and left. After a few steps, he turned back. You will regret this. Then, taking his people, he dejectedly left. The mountain gate became quiet. Lin Yuan turned and looked at Shizuan. Shizuan was still stunned. Lin Yuan, what's wrong? Shizuan came back to herself and looked at him. You honor that boundary-breaking pill. How long did you prepare it? Lin Yuan thought for a moment. When I was in seclusion 2 years ago. Shizuan was stunned. 2 years ago. That was right when he had just entered seclusion. At that time, he had just finished that great battle, was severely injured and not yet recovered, and was still in seclusion recuperating. And he started refining the boundary-breaking pill for her. Her voice trembled a little. Why didn't you recuperate first then, and instead refine pills for me? Lin Yuan looked at her. I was afraid you'd wait too long. Shizuen's eyes turned red. She turned her face away, not speaking. Lin Yuan also didn't speak. The two of them just stood there. The wind blew, and the leaves outside the mountain gate rustled. After a long while, Shizuen spoke, her voice muffled. That's Saintess. I heard she's very beautiful. Lin Yuan was startled. Then he smiled. He leaned in a little. What did you say? Shizuen kept her face turned away, not looking at him. Nothing. Lin Yuan, I heard you. Shizuen, if you heard, why ask? Lin Yuan looked at her reddish ear tips, a smile playing on his lips. No matter how beautiful she is, what does that have to do with me? Shizuen didn't speak. Lin Yuan continued, I'm not marrying her. Shizuen still didn't speak, but the corners of her lips curled up slightly, unnoticed. At the entrance of the dining hall, the senior sisters huddled together, straining to look this way. The junior sister stamped her foot in frustration. Can't see, can't see. Senior brother is blocking Shizuen. The senior sister tapped her head. Stop looking. Go back and eat. But she herself was also standing on tiptoes. The alchemy elder strolled past, carrying a teacup. He glanced in the direction of the mountain gate and smiled. Ah, young people. He shook his head and walked away. On Sword Cliff, the wind blew past. Lin Yuan and Shizuen stood side by side. Shizuen had already regained her composure, but her hand was still clutching that handkerchief. Lin Yuan saw it. He reached out and held her hand. Shizuen froze for a moment. She looked down at her hand, which she was holding. She didn't pull it back. Lin Yuan, Shizuen. Shizuen, Lin Yuan, I won't leave. Shizuen was silent for a moment. Then she said softly, I know. 3 days later, outside the Qingyu Gate mountain entrance, visitors arrived again. This time, the display was even grander. 8 pure white spirit horses pulled a jade palanquin, slowly descending from the sky. The jade palanquin was carved with dragons and phoenixes, inlaid with gold and jade, so dazzling it hurt the eyes. Behind the jade palanquin followed 4 elders of the Saint Peak realm, and 20 young disciples, each in the Saint realm, lined up neatly. In the dining hall, Lin Yuan put down his chopsticks. The junior sister craned her neck to look outside. Wow, what a grand entrance! Who is it? The senior sister's expression changed. That mark. The Grand Supreme Immortal Sect. The dining hall instantly fell silent. Everyone looked at Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan stood up and walked out. He walked a mountain gate and stopped. The door of the jade palanquin opened. A white figure floated out. Her white clothes were whiter than snow, and her dark hair cascaded like a waterfall. Her skin was like congealed fat, and her eyes like stars. Beautiful. So beautiful she seemed unreal. She landed on the ground, looked at Lin Yuan, and her eyes lit up. With light lotus steps, she walked before Lin Yuan and bowed gracefully. Senior brother Lin, Ruashi has presumptuously come to visit. I hope senior brother will forgive my offense. Her voice was also beautiful, like a clear spring in the mountains. Lin Yuan looked at her, his expression calm. Is there something you need? Ruashi looked up, her eyes glinting. On that day, senior brother rejected the marriage alliance, and Ruashi felt unwilling to accept it. Today, I have personally come to your door, wishing only to ask senior brother one question. Lin Yuan asked. White Ruashi looked at him, her gaze burning brightly. Senior brother, why do you reject me? Is there something wrong with Ruashi? Before Lin Yuan could reply, footsteps sounded from behind him. His master had arrived. She stood behind Lin Yuan, her expression calm. White Ruashi saw her, and her eyes flickered. Then she smiled. Sect Master Lung is here too. Perfect. Ruashi also wanted to ask Sect Master Lung a question. His master, speak. White Ruashi looked at her, smiling gently. Sect Master Lung and Senior Brother Lin, you are master and disciple, aren't you? His master, yes. White Ruashi, there's a distinction between master and disciple. Does Sect Master Lung believe she is worthy of Senior Brother Lin? The entire place fell silent. Even the wind at the mountain gate seemed to cease. His master's expression remained unchanged, but Lin Yuan saw that the hand hidden in her sleeve had clenched tightly. White Ruashi continued. Sect Master Lung has only just entered the Quasi-Emperor realm. Her foundation is unstable. Though I am unworthy, I am already at the peak of the Saint realm, ready to break through to Quasi-Emperor at any moment. As for Ruashi's master, he is at the peak of the Quasi-Emperor realm, half a step away from ascension. She paused, her smile growing even softer. Sect Master Lung, who do you think Senior Brother Lin should choose? His master remained silent. She had nothing to say, because everything White Ruashi said was true. She was indeed inferior. She lowered her head. Then, a hand reached out and clasped hers. Lin Yuan's hand. His master froze. Lin Yuan held her hand, looking at White Ruashi. His gaze was as cold as a winter lake. Have you finished asking? White Ruashi's smile stiffened for a moment. Lin Yuan, if you're done, then leave. White Ruashi's expression changed. Senior Brother Lin Yuan cut her off. First, my master has taught me for 300 years. Without her, I wouldn't be who I am today. Second, the reason she only just entered the Quasi-Emperor realm is because she gave all her best resources to me. Otherwise, she would have long been at the peak of the Quasi-Emperor realm. Third, he took a step forward. Who says she isn't worthy of me? He raised his hand. A pure and immense surge of primordial energy flowed into his master's body. That was the essence he had cultivated and condensed every day for the past 6 months. He had originally intended to save it to break through to a higher realm. Now it wasn't needed. His master's aura surged dramatically. Early stage Quasi-Emperor peak of early stage Quasi-Emperor. Just a hair's breadth away from breaking into the mid-stage. The entire place was dead silent. White Ruashi's expression completely changed. The 4 elders behind her stared, their eyes wide. This kind of primordial energy was the lifeblood of a peak Quasi-Emperor cultivator. Giving even a little of it away meant losing 100 years of one's lifespan. Lin Yuan had given so much, he would lose at least 500 years of his lifespan. Lin Yuan looked at White Ruashi. Now, is she worthy? White Ruashi opened her mouth, but no words came out. Lin Yuan, any more questions? Bai Ruashi gritted her teeth. Lin Yuan, for her, you damaged your cultivation? Lin Yuan, yes. Bai Ruashi, do you know how many years less you'll live like this? Lin Yuan, I know. Bai Ruashi, then you still. Lin Yuan interrupted her. She is worth it. 3 words, very soft, but everyone heard them. Master's hand was trembling. She looked at Lin Yuan, her eyes red. Bai Ruashi stood rooted to the spot, her face flushing then paling. She looked at Lin Yuan, at Master, at their clasped hands. She suddenly smiled. Her smile was a little cold. Fine. Lin Yuan, you've got guts. She turned and walked away. After a few steps, she looked back. You will regret this. With that, she boarded her jade carriage. 8 spirit horses soared into the sky, disappearing into the clouds. The mountain gate fell silent. Lin Yuan was still holding Master's hand. Master didn't move. She didn't move for a long time. The wind blew by, lifting strands of her hair. Lin Yuan looked down at her. She had her head bowed, not speaking, but her shoulders were trembling lightly. Lin Yuan reached out and pulled her into his embrace. Master froze. She tried to push him away, but she couldn't. Lin Yuan's voice came from above her head. Master, don't listen to her nonsense. Master's muffled voice came from within his embrace. She wasn't talking nonsense. I was never worthy of you. Lin Yuan held her tighter. Then I'll ask you, Master, Lin Yuan, for these past 300 years, have you been good to me? Master, good. Lin Yuan, you taught me skills, protected me, waited for me to emerge from seclusion, and helped me resolve my affairs. Isn't that right? Master, yes. Lin Yuan, then I ask you, in this world besides you, who else is worthy of me? Master fell silent. Lin Yuan loosened his embrace slightly and looked down at her. Her eyes were red, and tears still clung to her lashes. But the corners of her mouth were secretly curving upwards. Lin Yuan smiled. "Let's go. Time to go back and eat." "Master." The two walked back side by side. After a few steps, Master suddenly spoke. "Yuan." Lin Yuan, "Master, you just said I was worth it." Lin Yuan, "Master, really?" Lin Yuan stopped. He looked at her. "Really?" The wind blew past. Master smiled. Her smile was beautiful. 3 days later, dark clouds gathered over the Qingyu sect. It wasn't really going to rain. It was people, a boundless tide of people. The old ancestor of the Taishang immortal sect had personally arrived. A peak quasi-emperor, half a step to ascension. Behind him followed the sect masters of the 6 great sects, all quasi-emperors. Further behind them were hundreds of saints, a vast and mighty force, blotting out the sky and sun. In the dining hall, Lin Yuan put down his chopsticks. The junior sister's face turned pale. "Senior brother." Lin Yuan stood up. "Stay here and don't move." He walked out. Outside the mountain gate, Master was already standing there. Dressed in white, her robes fluttered in the wind. She looked at the group of people in the sky, her expression calm. Lin Yuan walked to her side, standing shoulder to shoulder. Master turned to look at him, smiling. "Are you afraid?" Lin Yuan also smiled. "No." "Master, Lin Yuan, "Because you're here." Master was startled for a moment, then smiled. In the sky, the Taishang old ancestor spoke. His voice was like thunder, shaking the mountain gate. "Sect Master Lung, hand over Lin Yuan." Master looked up at him. "By what right?" "Taishang old ancestor. Lin Yuan is the reincarnation of the demonic sect's sacred ancestor. He must be executed today." Master sneered. "Where's the proof?" "Taishang old ancestor. Isn't the dying testimony of the demonic sect master enough?" "Master, a demon slandering a righteous cultivator before death. And you believe it?" She took a step forward. "Then if I said you were a demonic sect spy before I died, should the whole world believe that too?" The Taishang old ancestor's expression darkened. "Presumptuous." The oppressive might of a peak quasi-emperor crashed down. Master let out a muffled grunt, retreating half a step, but she yielded not an inch. Behind them, people surged out from the mountain gate. The senior sisters rushed out, swords in hand. "If you want to touch senior brother, you'll have to step over our corpses first." The pill-refining elder stood at the very front, stroking his beard. "I, this old man, have lived for 3,000 years. That's enough for me." The Sword Dao elder gripped his sword hilt, his gaze sharp. To be able to exchange blows with a peak quasi-emperor in this lifetime, it's worth it. The old disciple who swept the floors stood in the crowd, broom in hand. His usually hunchback was now ramrod straight. Even the cook from the dining hall came out, still clutching his cleaver. Everyone from the Qingyu sect stood in a line, blocking the way in front of Lin Yuan and Master. The Taishang old ancestor sneered. "A bunch of ants daring to block my path." He raised his hand. Light gathered in his palm. He struck down with a palm. Shizhuan closed her eyes, bracing herself for the impact. Then, a hand reached out and pulled her behind him. Lin Yuan stood in front of her. He raised his hand and met the strike with his own palm. Boom! The two palms collided. Energy waves surged, and trees outside the mountain gate snapped off at their roots. The Grand Ancestor took a step back. His expression changed. Lin Yuan stood his ground, unmoving. He looked up at the Grand Ancestor. "You want to harm her?" His voice was cold. "First, ask if I agree." The Grand Ancestor stared at him. "Lin Yuan, today you have nowhere to run." Lin Yuan ignored him. He turned his head and looked at Shizhuan. Shizhuan stood there, watching him. Her eyes were reddened. Lin Yuan smiled. "Wait for me." Then he turned around and soared into the sky. His peak quasi-emperor might was unleashed. Heaven and earth changed color. The Grand Ancestor's expression turned solemn. Behind him, the 6 great sect masters all stepped forward. 7 great quasi-emperors against Lin Yuan alone. Lin Yuan swept his gaze over them. Come at me together. The Grand Ancestor roared in anger. Arrogant. He struck out with a palm. Lin Yuan dodged sideways, and with a backhand, swung his sword. The sword light, like snow, aimed straight for his throat. The Grand Ancestor flashed away, and a sect master behind him attacked. Lin Yuan didn't even turn his head, striking out with his left palm. That sect master was sent flying backward, but the others surrounded him again. The 7 great quasi-emperors engaged in a relay battle. Lin Yuan, with a single sword, did not retreat a single step. Wherever the sword light passed, even quasi-emperors had to retreat. But there were many opponents. They gradually encircled him. Below the mountain gate, Shizun stared intently at the sky. Her hands were clenched so tight her knuckles turned white. The senior sisters were so nervous they dared not breathe loudly. The alchemy elder muttered incantations under his breath. The sword Dao elder's hand, gripping his sword, had veins bulging. In the sky, the battle grew increasingly fierce. The Grand Ancestor seized an opportunity, striking a palm at Lin Yuan's back. Lin Yuan was about to turn a block. Suddenly, a blur appeared before his eyes. A white figure rushed up, blocking in front of him. The palm strike landed squarely on her. Shizun, she spat out fresh blood and was sent flying backward. Lin Yuan's pupils suddenly contracted. Master! He rushed forward and caught her. She lay in his arms, blood staining the corners of her mouth. Her face was as white as paper, but she was smiling. Yuanea, I'm all right. Lin Yuan said nothing. He looked at her pale face, looked at the blood on her lips, looked at the smile she forced out. His heart was fiercely gripped, the pain stealing his breath. He gently laid her down, stood up, turned around, looked at the 7 people in the sky. His gaze changed, completely changed. The Grand Ancestor felt a shiver run down his spine under his gaze. But still feigning bravado, he said, Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan spoke. His voice was very soft, but everyone heard it. You heard her. He raised his hand, unsealed the last restriction within his body. That was the power he had prepared for ascension. Now he no longer needed it. His aura surged explosively. Peak Quasi-Emperor half-step into Emperor. The heavens and earth changed color. Thunderclouds rolled. The entire sky trembled. The Grand Ancestor's face twisted dramatically. What realm is this? The 6 sect masters' legs turned to jelly. Lin Yuan drew his sword. The sword light illuminated the entire sky. He looked at the 7 people, word by word. You hurt her. You made her bleed. He took a step forward. I want her lives. Lin Yuan stood suspended in the air. His aura surged around him, and the heavens and earth trembled. Half step into Emperor. Only half a step away from being a true great Emperor. The Grand Ancestor's face was deathly pale. The 6 sect masters' legs turned to jelly. No. Impossible. The Grand Ancestor took a step back. You were clearly only a peak quasi-emperor. How could you possibly? Lin Yuan said nothing. He raised his sword. His first strike. The sword light, like a rainbow, streaked across the sky. The 3 quasi-emperors at the very front didn't even have time to dodge. The 3 flew backward, vomiting fresh blood, and smashed onto the mountain gate. Half of the mountain gate had collapsed. The 3 lay on the ground, unable to move. The entire scene was dead silent. The Grand Ancestor's pupils sharply contracted. Attacked together. He's only one person. The remaining 4 gritted their teeth and charged forward. Lin Yuan raised his hand. The second sword, the sword light, split into 4 streams, piercing the 4 individuals. The 4 desperately resisted. The 4 were simultaneously sent flying backward. 2 crashed into the mountain wall, embedded so deeply they couldn't be dug out. The other 2 slammed onto the training ground, leaving 2 large craters. Only the Grand Ancestor remained. He trembled all over and turned to run. Lin Yuan raised his hand. The third sword, the sword light, gave chase, piercing through his protective spiritual energy. The Grand Ancestor spat out fresh blood, and fell from the sky. He knelt before the mountain gate. His knees shattered the bluestone slab. The entire scene was silent. It was so quiet that one could hear the wind rustling through fallen leaves. The disciples of the six great sects stood rooted to the spot, not daring to move. Hundreds of saints trembled. Lin Yuan descended. He walked to the Grand Ancestor. He looked down at him. The Grand Ancestor looked up, his face covered in blood. His lips trembled. Lin Yuan spoke. "Do you submit?" The Grand Ancestor kowtowed. I submit." Lin Yuan, "Go back and tell the others." He swept his gaze across the whole place. "As long as I, Lin Yuan, am at the Azure Jade Gate, no one should even think of touching it." His voice was calm, but everyone heard it clearly. "Whoever does, I will wipe out their entire clan." The members of the six great sects slinked away. They ran faster than they had arrived. The Grand Ancestor was propped up and dragged away. The area in front of the mountain gate fell silent. Lin Yuan turned around. He quickly walked towards his master. She was still lying there, her face pale, but she was smiling. Her smile was beautiful. Lin Yuan crouched down and picked her up. "Let's go, back to heal your injuries." His master rested in his arms, her voice soft. "Yuan, you were truly magnificent today." Lin Yuan said nothing. He simply held her tighter. Inside the bedchamber, Lin Yuan placed his master on the couch. He turned to leave. His sleeve was tugged. His master's voice was very soft. "Yuan, don't go." Lin Yuan turned his head. She was lying on the couch, looking at him. Her eyes were bright. Lin Yuan paused. He sat down by the couch. "I'm not leaving." Master smiled, but as she smiled, tears began to fall. Lin Yuan panicked. "What's wrong? Does it hurt?" Master shook her head. "It doesn't hurt." She reached out and took his hand. "Yuan, why did you unseal it just now?" Lin Yuan said nothing. Master looked at him. "That was your hope for ascension. You prepared for half a year, right?" Lin Yuan was silent for a moment. Then he spoke. "Yes." Master's tears fell even more profusely. "Then why did you?" Lin Yuan interrupted her. "Because you were injured." Master was stunned. Lin Yuan looked at her. "I saw you shield me, saw you spit blood, saw you fall." He paused. "What I was thinking at that time wasn't ascension. It was you." Master's tears wouldn't stop. She wanted to speak, but couldn't. Lin Yuan reached out and wiped away her tears. "Master, do you know why I won't ascend?" Master shook her head. Lin Yuan looked at her. "Because I'm afraid." Master was stunned. "What are you afraid of?" Lin Yuan, "I'm afraid if I ascend, I'll leave you alone in the lower realm. I'm afraid I won't be here when someone bullies you. I'm afraid." He paused. "I'm afraid that by the time I see you again, you'll already be gone." Master's tears streamed down her face. She reached out and hugged Lin Yuan. "Yuan, you silly boy." Lin Yuan gently hugged her back. The two of them just held each other like that. Neither of them spoke. The candlelight flickered. Outside the window, the moon had risen. After a long while, Master whispered, "Yuan, do you know?" Lin Yuan, "Master, those 2 years you were in solitary cultivation, I waited for you every day at Sword Cliff. I told myself you were in solitary cultivation, and you'd be back soon. But 1 day, 2 days, 1 month, 2 months. I waited for 2 years." Lin Yuan hugged her tightly. "I'm back." "Shirzun." Silence again. Then Shirzun spoke, her voice barely a whisper. "Yuan, I don't want to just be your Shirzun anymore." Lin Yuan smiled. He lowered his head, looking into her eyes. "I've waited 300 years for these words." Shirzun blushed, her face as red as the evening glow outside the window. She buried her face in his embrace, refusing to look up. Lin Yuan smiled, holding her tighter. Outside the door, suddenly, a rustling sound came from outside. Lin Yuan's divine sense swept out. The senior sisters were squeezed at the doorway, ears pressed against the door. The junior sister was squeezed at the very front, her face distorted. Lin Yuan gave a cough. Outside the door, chaos instantly erupted. "Run, run, don't step on my foot." "Who pushed me?" A chaotic scramble ensued. The sound of footsteps faded away. Lin Yuan looked down at Shizuan. Shizuan's face turned even redder. Buried in his arms, she refused to come out. Lin Yuan smiled. The moonlight outside the window was bright. Early morning. Sunlight streamed into the azure jade gate. Lin Yuan opened his eyes. The person beside him was still asleep. Her eyelashes were long, her breathing light. He watched her for a long time. Then her eyelashes fluttered, and she opened her eyes. Meeting his gaze, she blushed. "What are you looking at?" Lin Yuan smiled. "Looking at you." Shizuan reached out and pushed him. "Get up, time to practice swords." After washing up, the two of them went out. On Sword Cliff, Lin Yuan practiced his sword, while Shizuan watched beside him. Now, she no longer needed to happen to be passing by. She simply stood there openly. After finishing his set of sword techniques, Lin Yuan put away his sword. He walked over and sat down beside her. He took the tea she offered and took a sip. "Where are we going today?" Shizuan thought for a moment. "I'll take you somewhere." She stood up and extended her hand. Lin Yuan took her hand and followed. Towards the back mountain, through the dense forest. Around the waterfall, they came to a stone wall. The wall was covered in vines. No one had been there for many years. Master pushed aside the vines, revealing a cave entrance. "This is where I used to cultivate in seclusion," she said. The cave was simple, a stone bed, a meditation mat, an oil lamp. The stone walls were covered in inscribed characters, a set of sword techniques. Master's voice came from behind him. "My master taught it to me. I practiced it for 300 years, but I never mastered the final stance." Lin Yuan stared at the characters. He read them once. He closed his eyes, then opened them again. "The sequence of this sword art is wrong." Master froze. Lin Yuan raised his hand, 2 fingers pressed together like a sword. He began to move in the cave. Sword light flashed like snow, his robes fluttered. As the final form landed, sword energy surged, and the vines on the stone wall snapped off at their roots. Lin Yuan concluded his movements, turning to look at her. "This is the correct way." Master stood frozen. After a moment, she smiled, laughing until tears streamed down her face. "I practiced it for 300 years, and you understood it in one go." Lin Yuan walked over and wiped away her tears. "It's not that you practiced it wrong. Your master taught it incorrectly from the beginning." Master was silent for a long time. Then she leaned into his embrace. "You honor, thank you." Lin Yuan held her tight. They stayed in the cave for a long time. When they emerged, the sun was beginning to set. Master looked back at the cave entrance, watching it for a long time. Then she turned, taking Lin Yuan's hand. "Let's go." Back at the sect, in the mess hall, the junior sister ran over. "Master, teach me how to make spirit fruit stew." Master tied on an apron and stood before the stove. She fumbled clumsily while cutting the spirit fruits. The junior sister chirped beside her. "Master, cut them smaller." "Master, the heat's too high." "Master, you've put in too much sugar." Lin Yuan walked over. Standing behind Master, he took her hand that held the knife. "Cut it like this." Guiding her hand, stroke by stroke, the spirit fruits he cut were uniform in size. The junior sister giggled, covering her mouth. Master's face flushed, but she didn't pull away. At lunch, everyone had a bowl of spirit fruit stew in front of them. The junior sister beamed proudly. "Master made it herself. I taught her." Master ate with her head down, her ear tips bright red. Lin Yuan picked up his bowl and took a sip. Master secretly watched him. "How is it?" Lin Yuan looked at her. "It's good." Master smiled. She smiled like a little girl. After the meal, the two walked on the way back to the sleeping palace. The sun was just right, and the breeze was very comfortable. Master suddenly said, "Yuan, I'm very happy today." Lin Yuan held her hand. "I'll come with you every day from now on." Master smiled and leaned on his shoulder. Days went by. On this day, several young people arrived outside the mountain gate. The leader, a mid-stage saint, had his nostrils flared upwards. His eyes darted everywhere, lingering on female disciples. Junior sister felt completely uncomfortable being stared at and hid behind senior sister. The leader chuckled. "What are you hiding for?" Isn't Lin Yuan the only one in your Azure Jade sect who can fight? No sooner had he spoken, Lin Yuan stood behind him. Looking for me? The leader froze for a moment. You're Lin Yuan? My father is an elder of the Heavenly Sword sect, and I came today to see how good you are at fighting. Lin Yuan looked at him. Are you done watching? The leader was taken aback. Lin Yuan, now that you've seen, get lost. The leader's face flushed crimson. Do you dare to fight me? Lin Yuan glanced at him. A mid-stage saint. The leader puffed out his chest, scared. Lin Yuan didn't speak. Master walked over and stood beside him. The leader's eyes went wide when he saw Master. This is... Lin Yuan stepped forward, blocking his view. My master. The leader swallowed. Lin Yuan looked at Master. Master smiled. Go ahead. Lin Yuan nodded. He took a step forward. The leader lunged with a punch. Lin Yuan sidestepped to dodge. He tapped the leader's back with a finger. A light tap. The leader flew out, crashed to the ground, and got a mouthful of mud. He scrambled up, his face covered in dirt. Lin Yuan, you just wait. He ran off with his people. Lin Yuan turned and looked at Master. Master smiled. Let's go back for dinner. After a few steps, Master suddenly said, I don't like the way he looked at me. Lin Yuan's steps faltered. Then he turned around. Wait here. Master pulled him back. Never mind. Lin Yuan looked at her. After a moment of silence, he nodded. Okay. The two walked back. In the dining hall. While eating, Lin Yuan suddenly put down his chopsticks. He stood up and walked out. Master was stunned. Yuan. Lin Yuan didn't look back. Wait for me a moment. Outside the mountain gate, those few people were walking back, grumbling and cursing. The leader, his face covered in dirt, was cursing. Lin Yuan, wait till I get back and tell my dad. A figure landed in front of him. It was Lin Yuan. The leader's legs went soft, and he fell to his knees. You, what else do you want? Lin Yuan looked down at him. The way you look at my master just now. I don't like it. With that, he turned and disappeared. The leader lay paralyzed on the ground, unable to get up for a long time. In the dining hall, Lin Yuan walked back and sat down opposite Master. He picked up his bowl and continued eating. Master looked at him. You caught up. Lin Yuan. Master. And then? Lin Yuan made him remember. Master smiled. She lowered her head and continued eating. She whispered, thank you. Lin Yuan's chopsticks paused. He looked up at her. Master didn't look up, but the corners of her mouth were upturned. Lin Yuan smiled. Eat. 6 months later, everything at Azure Jade sect was as usual. Every morning, Lin Yuan practiced his sword at Sword Cliff. Master watched by his side. Every noon, the two went to the dining hall together. Little junior sister always saved the best spot for them. Every evening, the two sat by the edge of Sword Cliff, watching the sunset, the stars, and the moon. This particular evening, the sun was about to set. Golden light shone upon them. Master leaned on Lin Yuan's shoulder. Lin Yuan put his arm around her. Master suddenly spoke. Yuan, are you really not ascending? Lin Yuan looked down at her. What about you? Shurzuan was silent for a moment. I don't want to either. Lin Yuan smiled. Then let's not ascend. Shurzuan's eyes reddened. But your cultivation... Lin Yuan squeezed her hand. I cultivate to become stronger. Becoming stronger is to protect those I want to protect. He looked into the distance. Now, Qingyu's sect is very safe. And you are here too. What else could I possibly not be content with? Tears fell from Shurzuan's eyes. She leaned into his embrace. Yuan. Lin Yuan held her tighter. Don't cry. Shurzuan's muffled voice came. I'm not crying. Lin Yuan smiled. All right, you're not crying. The sun set. Stars lit up. The moon climbed into view. The two still sat there. The wind blew a bit cool, but snuggled together they weren't cold. In the distance, at the entrance of the refectory, the senior sisters huddled together. The junior sister whispered, Shurzuan and eldest senior brother are still there. The eldest senior sister tapped her on the head. Stop looking, go back to sleep. But she herself was also watching. Second senior sister, how wonderful. Third senior sister, truly wonderful. The pale, refining elder stood in the distance, holding a teacup, looking at the two figures on Sword Cliff. He smiled. He turned and walked back, muttering to himself. Qingyu's sect has someone to carry on its legacy. On Sword Cliff, Shizuan suddenly spoke. Yuanea. Lin Yuan. Shizuan. Tomorrow, will you still watch the sunrise with me? Lin Yuan looked down at her. Her eyes were sparkling, like stars in the sky. Lin Yuan smiled. I will. Shizuan also smiled. She leaned back against his shoulder. Then it settled. Lin Yuan held her tighter. It settled. The moon was bright. The stars were many. The wind blew gently. On Sword Cliff, two people nestled close for a very long time. In the distance, the lights of Qingyu Gate lit up one by one. Smoke rose from the dining hall's chimney. On the training grounds, people were still practicing their swordsmanship. Everything was just right. Years may be long, but love lasts even longer.